realized I wanted to work with Nintendo was when I first played Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube. It was an amazing game that brought me and my friends together, and I saw the type of enthusiasm and energy that video games from Nintendo brought, and I already knew that that's the company I wanted to at least work with, or hopefully one day actually work at Nintendo. So the coolest item I've ever made for Nintendo was a giant gingerbread house, and keep in mind I am terrible when it comes to cooking. However, when it comes to DIYs, if you can find a tutorial online, there's a lot of ways that you can learn how to make a gingerbread house. So instead of making a traditional gingerbread house, I actually made Princess Peach's castle, and it actually turned out pretty good. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I absolutely love the end result. So that has to be the coolest thing I've ever made for Nintendo. I originally made a lot of figurines in my art class, and I actually made characters from Super Smash Bros. Melee, and when custom Amiibo came out, it was just so much easier to just add clay and paint instead of starting from scratch. So originally I had the idea in high school, and it just made it a lot more easier when Amiibos came out, because instead of, like I said, starting from scratch, I just had to add clay, some paint, some different materials, glitter, and that's how I started making custom Amiibos. So as an artist, I've made a lot of pieces over the years. However, there are special pieces that I've only made for charity events, such as St. Jude. I want to make art that not only a lot of people can make, but be inspired by, and hopefully my art can actually contribute something to society. So that's why I love to give back, because there is nothing that can even amount to someone's smiles or their happiness or joy, especially when it comes to receiving an art piece, or again having that money go to charity. And it's so important for me to bring back to the community because they've given me so much. So originally when I started streaming and making videos and content, I was not the best business person. However, doing this over the years has taught me so many life lessons when it comes to businesses and the practice of building a business. You want to always keep the communication open, and you also want to keep everyone in check and make sure that you're doing your due diligence. You're providing the materials and assets that they want, such as if they ask for art from me, I want to deliver that not only in a timely manner, but it's exactly what they want. If I could speak to my younger self, I would tell her that one day you will work for Nintendo. I want to tell her that if you work hard and you have passion for what you do, all the things that you want in life will come naturally. I really want to tell people that, not only myself, my younger self, but I want to tell people in general that hard work does pay off, and if you have passion for what you want to do in life, just keep at it, because consistency is so important. So the number one thing I can possibly pass on to anyone is have passion for what you do. Everything else will come. Sadly, in my position and my years of doing this, I've never had a mentor. However, I wish I did, because there has been a lot of things that I probably could have avoided, situations, problems, all these things, if only I had a mentor. So if there's anyone out there that's willing to give you any sort of help or education, please listen to them. Not only just listen, but understand as well, because it's so important to understand their experiences and how they're actually just trying to pass on their knowledge. And it's so important to grasp their concepts. So I would definitely say that, yeah, I wish I had a mentor. If you happen to find one, stick to them, ask them questions, because again, I wish I did. Hopefully one day I'll be a mentor to someone else. At least I can do that. So my definition of success, I know a lot of people tend to think about money first, and of course that makes the world go around. However, my definition of success is how it makes you feel in the end, because you want your life to have this sense of fulfillment. You can have all the money in the entire world, but you really want to make sure that the life you lived is one that you've always wanted, that you're happy, that you're proud of, that you can say to your kids that I've done this, you know? So I think success, of course, it depends on each person. However, make sure that you include happiness and your well-being in that calculation. So this is a lifelong dream. The two people I always wanted to play Nintendo games with would have to be Reggie, of course, because he is the last CEO of Nintendo. The current CEO of Nintendo is Doug Bowser. So I think it'd be really cool to have them both here next to me playing Nintendo games, because not only do you get to see the past of Nintendo, but you also get to see the future and where they want to go with the company. And it's so important, especially if you're a content creator and you're wanting to work with brands, you got to know where their company is headed. So the fact that I could play with Reggie right here on this side would be amazing. I can ask him all the difficult decisions he had to make in his term, and now I can ask, Doug Bowser, like what he plans on doing with the company and where he sees it in the next 5 years. So if there is a particular game that Doug Bowser and Reggie could play with me, I think the coolest game that we can both play together would have to be Super Smash Bros. Only because it's the most competitive game that Nintendo has ever released. It compiles so many characters from different genres and companies, and it just shows this big, huge collaboration. I would absolutely love to play with them. However, if I had to choose who would win, I'm not trying to be biased, but I think I'll probably get first place, maybe. I hope they don't hear this, but I think I would win. So the Nintendo games that I think everyone should play is, of course, the classics. I would have to say the Link games. They're amazing. That's one character that they've always brought back every single year. They have Breath of the Wild 2 coming out very, very soon. So any of the Link games, from the past to the future, is something that everyone should play. It's a nice game to kind of get yourself into the whole genre that is Nintendo. If you can get your hands on Super Smash Bros. Melee, definitely play that game as well, just because you'll not only see a lot of characters, but it's characters from Nintendo that you can probably attach to and have a likeness to. So definitely Super Smash Bros. And all the Link games. I am a huge advocate when it comes to anti-bullying and just being nice to everyone, just because for me growing up I was bullied, sadly. However, I don't take any of that back because it's made me the person I am today. So I do advocate hugely for anti-bullying just because I know what it feels like. I've been there before, and I want to make sure that people who currently are in a situation where they are being bullied, I just want them to know that they aren't alone and that it gets better in the future. Well, strangely enough, I've actually experienced VR. My friend has a whole setup in his house, and we were playing a ton of games. We were playing a game where you basically walk on a plank of wood and then you jump off the building. It was scary and it was so realistic. However, with VRLU, it's totally different because you're just actually immersed in the world instead of it being just graphics and pixels. So I've had some experience with VR in general, but nothing like VRLU. Me personally, I would love to see DIYs just because I think everyone does DIYs in their lifetime, whether it's fixing up the home, making arts and crafts with the family, or art in general. I think everyone has this bug for creativity and they want to continue to create and make ideas come to life. So it'd be awesome to see art in VRLU. Any form of art, of course, whether it be music, acting, drawing, anything of that sort. So when it came to filming in the VRLU Experience, I absolutely loved every second. I was able to not only show you guys what I do on a daily basis, but you guys can actually feel immersed in my world, in my crafting session. It was really awesome to show you guys what we can build and what we can make, and it really felt like I had a huge connection to the audience. So I love VRLU. The whole experience was amazing, and I would definitely do it all over again. The main message when anyone watches my VRLU experience is that I want them to feel like they can do anything. And when it comes to DIYs, I know in general it could feel daunting. It could feel like you don't have enough talent to do that DIY. But if you just take each step by step and take your time and be patient, I promise the end result will be amazing. Whether it be you're trying to go back to school, or if you're trying to, get back into like making arts and crafts, don't feel like you know, the world is crashing, that you don't understand it. Because as long as you are patient and you try your best and you keep at it, I promise that the end result will look amazing. No, you're fine.
It's hot.
Rolling.
It's hot.
MissGandaKris, clap for sound. Eyes forward, please. Smiles up.